2016. LSU had Lesson after a loss to Auburn. They decided to fire him after the fourth game. Coach O named interim head coach. Later on in November, Texas 5-7, they fired Charlie Strong. Note the time, 10:37 in the morning. Same day, a little later, Ed O announced as LSU head coach because the Tigers have been pursuing Tom Herman and realized that he preferred Texas, which is where he is now. Tom Herman wired.
Go! Let's go! Ah! Oh, ah! If it's quarters, okay, and you know you're going to throw the pause, I mean, it can just be a punch because here's the key. That quarter safety is actually reading the tight end and the running back. It's best out of 3 for 10 out downs. 10 out downs.
Leave a sign. Tom Herman did have eyes only for Texas, as it turns out, and his offense has really fit Sam Ehlinger.
If you think about Tom Herman and what he grew his reputation on, it was having success as a play caller, having success as an offensive coordinator first at Ohio State. He goes down to Houston. He got Houston going with his offense. What he was able to establish as a head coach at Houston, he was able to develop leadership and to show how he could affect an entire team. That's what I think Texas fell in love with. So he comes to Austin, and he's literally in the middle of the process of developing culture. And we had a chance, Rece and I and our crew calling the game, had a chance to sit down, not just with Tom Herman, but his players, his assistant coaches. Man, you can just tell that in his third year, people are completely buying in. And this is a big test. I know they beat Georgia, but for them to go where they feel, and these fans feel that this is where they should be every year. Because from 2000 to 2009, they were an Alabama type of program. They are buying in, and tonight they get the ultimate test against the SEC power in LSU to see really where this culture is.
Well, the winner of this game gets a leg up on the playoff race.
Yes.
But the loser, Des, must run the table if they want to get to the playoffs. This is a big ball game early in the season.
Huge game. I love them. I wish more teams would play games like this. You know,
it's worth it.
When you look at LSU, though, this is a big game for their offense. Don't forget that Coach O went out and got Joe Brady. Now, Joe Brady is a coach who's now the passing game coordinator because he's pretty much bringing that offense out of the Stone Ages. They're going to spread Texas out. They're going to let Joe Burrow throw the ball all over the yard. I want to see now if Texas DBs is, in fact, is this DBU.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Tonight is put up or shut up time because they're going to be tested in the back end.
Sure are.
George Whitfield's going to join us a little later on. A closer look at what Joe Brady has incorporated in that passing game with Joe Burrow, the LSU quarterback. Look at Bevo staring longingly into the eyes of the College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. You know what a perfect day here in Austin would be? If the Aggies lose to Clemson on ABC at 3:30 Eastern this afternoon. This is the first of an A&M gauntlet. They play number 1, 2, 3, 6, and 10.
How about that?
In the current AP poll. And you remember last year, this was a tie game. We called this game, Kirk.
Kelly Bryant actually had the big game early in the year and brought the Tigers back to win it. What I remember walking out of that stadium is Kellen Mond throwing for over 400 yards against that Clemson defense. Came down to the moments late in the game.
That was a big play. A&M missed a chance to score. They forced a 3-and-out, got it right back. Mond threw the touchdown pass, and they needed the 2-point conversion to perhaps force overtime, and did not get it. Clemson has been waiting for the opportunity for redemption. But those 5 games I mentioned for A&M, if they somehow go 3-2 in those games, they stay close in all of them, assuming no other losses, they would merit strong consideration for a spot in the college football playoff, even with 2 losses. Yeah, I know you don't like it, but it's true. Kellen Mond put up the best performance QBR-wise of any quarterback against a Dabo Swinney coach team at Clemson, and the Tigers are ready for another shot.
Mond, pressure from the backside, avoids it over the middle, thrown, touchdown Aggies!
He can throw, he's got a huge arm. We won't see anybody that's better than him all year. don't have any doubt we'll see the best version of Kellen Moore.
You got a guy like Kellen Mond operating that offense and a coach like Jimbo Fisher. It's hard for anybody.
Rolling right to the end zone. Intercepted.
They're going to make plays. They're a very good team.
It's a great challenge, a great opportunity. If you want to be the best, you have to play the best.
If we be who we are, we living up to the moment.
Knowing that they're number one, but we believe we can play with any team in the country. We don't really crack. We wait for the other team to crack.
There will be an upset.
Guaranteed, Jimbo said after that. Who said that? Jared better play well, I'll tell you that right now. Trevor Lawrence against Georgia Tech last week. Hey, look, the expectations are so high. I don't know how in the world you could ever meet them, but with no blitz, that's where he threw his 2 interceptions. Yeah. This matchup would seem to favor Clemson with some of the inexperience in A&M secondary.
No, you're right about that. And you look at Clemson's wideouts. I mean, these guys are NFL caliber talent when you look at them play. But Trevor Lawrence, he has to make sure his pre-snap reads are on point. I think that's where Georgia Tech defensively, they fooled him on the back end. That's what caused him so many issues. I expect that the A&M's defensive coordinator is going to come out and try to do the same thing, try to give them some different looks, some funky blitzes. Watch the back end, coach, see if they can take advantage of that.
To contain Clemson, A&M is going to have to play a near-perfect game defensively and force turnovers. Here's a good sign. They had 4 interceptions last week.
Yep.
That's the first time in 13 years they had 4 interceptions in the game. That's a good sign for A&M, boy.
Mike Elko, the defense coordinator, very complex scheme. Here's the thing. Lost his top 6 tacklers from a year ago. This is an A&M team that could win at home. Struggled on the road. 1 in 3 on the road. Talking about changing culture, Jimbo Fisher still trying to teach his team how to go on the road, and with a defense facing Trevor Lawrence and that balanced, explosive attack, tall order for that defense to slow down the Tigers.
ABC, 3:30 Eastern. Aggies may go with 2 new cornerbacks. Let's see. Mike Elko gave him a little problem last year. All right, here in Austin on this beautiful morning, the Pizza Hut Fan Cam providing fans with a look at the scene of College Game Day. And what a scene it is indeed as we check in with Maria.
I'm over here at the House of Pie with Barb and Dave Wright. And how about this? They're recently retired and their plan is to follow College Game Day on every single stop. So what made you decide that this is what you guys wanted to do this year?
Well, we retired just recently and we wanted to see America, and how better to travel than to follow Game Day. And that's our game plan. We want to hit all the back roads of America, and with this kind of environment, how do you beat it?
You literally can't beat it. And Barb, what's the trip been like? And you're not going home at all, so what has it been like for you so far?
It's been one adventure after another.
All right, they're from Newport, Oregon. They've been with us to Disney World. You've been with us to Dallas. They made their way to Austin, and they said they're going to find out where they're going next when we finally announce it. So we're excited to have a home team fan that's that dedicated. It's pretty impressive.
And how incredible.
That is incredible.
I think we ought to follow them every little segment every week.
Seriously. They put their Christmas tree up, so it'll be up when they get back home. They know they're not going back.
That's awesome.
Their son came and told me they were doing this. It's incredible. So, you like the mascot matchup? Mike versus Vivo, ferocious animals. Gene Wojciechowski sizes them up as only he can. And Herbstreit's going to size up Sam Ehlinger and all of those critics that somehow Sam accumulates.
I don't really find him too much of a threat.
At the University of Texas, there's a lot of outside noise.